play it again. So let's go to filter and wave, and you can see you get that effect. The flame render in Photoshop can produce all kinds of different designs. I'm going to show you how in this video. I would suggest fill with black. So click OK. And what you need is a path. How to create a path? Well, probably the best tool, I would suggest Curvature Pen Tool. Or of course you can always bring in a path as a custom shape. Make certain you go with this path option. And then click, and then click, and then drag. And I'm going to go for a circular design like this. And you could of course extend it and create all kinds of designs. Then to actually apply the filter, go to filter, and then down here to render, and then flame. Tucked away in the render, and you get this sort of effect. And you can vary it in thousands of ways. There's lots of different settings. Things like multiple flames along a path. You can also maybe go for one direction and so on, or directed, angled. Also you can modify lengths, randomize the length, create all kinds of different effects. Also, I'm pushing it really high, width 1000, so it literally fills quite a bit of the screen. Angle 0, interval 200. You can vary it. You can see you can just change that, and you get a very intense if you lower it down. But if you want more diffuse, then put it to 200. Photoshop does not allow you to go beyond the limits that you set here. Not like Affinity Photo and other applications where you can extend it normally beyond that. Okay, got fine quality, and also you can go to advanced. I've got turbulent set to 0, jag 100, opacity 1. And you can modify the complexity, create all kinds of different designs. I'm going to generally keep it low, and then randomize shapes. And that's quite useful because it will just randomize everything, and that's what I want in this. So apply it once, and that's going to be the background layer. The great thing about this is now you can go over here and just select the path selection tool, and then you can just move it. You can reposition it. You can put it to a different place. But also what you can do is go to layer and new layer. It creates a new layer and the render will be on that. Now you don't have to change any settings if you don't want to. Simply apply it again, but there's some randomization in there, so it will not be exactly the same. So flame again, just process it, takes a few seconds, and you'll get another effect. And then you can see it's on another layer. You can move it around, so you can always decide to reposition it. Though you might find that you've got something cut off at the top in that case. But let's just now go here again to the path tool and just path selection tool, and just move that around. And you can always tweak things. You can always modify it again using the curvature tool. We go there and you can see then just hover over there. You can add another point and just tweak it like that. Create all kinds of designs and just drag that over there. Okay, once you've got that, again, layer, new layer. You could, of course, do 15 or 20 or 30 layers on top. Now, I know it's going to look like it's going to blast the entire screen out. Well, it sort of does. But let's just go for the next. Again, flame. And, of course, you could go and vary the settings. You don't have to go with exactly the same each time. But let's just apply it. And you can see now you get some intensity here instead. And you can see, of course, in the layers over here, the actual design. Well, what you can also do is you can go over here, select both of those, and you can go to there and you can decide, you know what, I want colour burn. So both become colour burn. And you could do this, of course, for 5 or 6 or 10 different layers, maybe difference, norm, whatever, whole number of them. Well, that blends now with the background. And what you can then do is you can then flatten it. So let's just flatten the entire image. Don't want to move anything around, but you could do that. You could resize it, make it slightly smaller. So flatten image. Also, don't need this. So I'm just going to go to the pen tool with that. Just delete it. So it's gone. You could, of course, hide it using the path panel. Well, this design can now be modified in countless ways. You could use all kinds of distortions, liquify, etc. One that I like is wave. So filter. And you go down here to stylize and oil paint if you want to give a smeary effect. But the actual wave one is in distort and wave. Generally, I use quite a few combinations of oil as well as wave. So wave, and now you can see this. Personally, I always find that the number of generators defaulting to 5 is a bit extreme. If you increase it, let's just increase that. You can see as you increase it, you get different effects, and you can see the effect here. It's not previewed here, unfortunately. But you can see you can create some really extreme, but I prefer 1. And you can obviously modify this, triangle, sine, square, etc. And square is useful as well, but sine, great one. And then you can modify the wavelength. I'm going for about 718 here. And this amplitude you can vary, of course. There, you just move these there, just there. And as you see, as you do that, you create some really interesting different designs. And you can do that, of course, here like that. I like to push it to fairly extreme. Let's just like that. I think that looks great. Scale, keep it, and wrap around and click OK. And then you get this result. Now, I think that's a perfectly reasonable, unusual frame effect. But I was going to say flame effect. But you can also, of course, play it again. So let's go to filter and wave. And you can see you get that effect. Now, sometimes it's virtually impossible to get exactly the same result as what I had right at the start. Very complex designs like this can be created, but it's very hard to actually get them all to be exactly the same. A way of doing it, I guess, would be to use actions if you want to sort of record it and then generate the same sort of design. But again, it's got randomization in it, so even that may mean you never get exactly the same design. So undo again, let's just undo that, just to show you can get a variety of designs. Not just that, you always go to filter, again, distort and wave, or you could combine it with other things like twirl. And you can randomize. I think randomize is a great feature. You can see as you randomize that, or just tweak some of these other settings. Always just move it. Now, sometimes these sliders are quite hard, fiddly to actually select. They've never updated these ages. This panel is very, very old. So click randomize, and you can see as you do it, just by doing that, it's one of the great filters for randomization. I think that's just a lovely feature. Wish all the filters would have randomize. Click OK, and then you can see that, and then filter again, because it's got randomization again in it, the result will be different again, and again filter wave, and you can see you can generate all kinds of different things. Also, you could use it with blend modes, so you don't have to just use it like this. You could go filter and wave, then go to edit and fade wave, and then go here, maybe go with multiply, and maybe go with color burn, another color burn there, or maybe lighten, and so on. You can see you can create a variety of different designs simply by just modifying the fade there. But there you have it. Really fascinating, unusual effect created using the flame filter in Photoshop. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Bye.